you put the agenda up too, please? There we go. Are we good?
You are good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I don't have no idea what time it is. So we'll call it 6:33-ish. Can you stick the agenda up there for me, please, Heather? Okay. Is there somebody here to take the roll call? Susan, are you here? Don't know.
I didn't see her name on the list of people that were here.
Okay. Heather, do you have the list?
I don't have the list.
Do you want me
Okay.
to take the roster? I can take the list.
Sure, that'd be good. Thanks, Mo.
Yep.
Okay. You're just going to take a screenshot, Mel?
Yeah, or do you want me to actually
No,
ask
that's
everybody
fine,
to?
unless Max is excused and Joe Dubin is also excused.
Okay,
I heard from both of them. Other than that, I don't know.
okay, Max and Joe.
Okay, thank
Kathy
you.
Clark is pinned. She's outside. She's coming in.
Okay,
She said,
all right, thank you. Okay, anybody see the minutes of the January meeting? Anybody have a chance to go through the minutes of the January meeting?
I don't think that I'm on a list to get them, Eileen, because I never see them.
Okay, they're on, they should be on the website. You should be able to go to the town website and they should be posted.
Okay, I'll check them out later tonight then.
Okay, so if no one's read the minutes, we can't actually ask for a motion to approve the minutes, can we now? So we'll have to put that off until next month. Okay, moving on. Is there anyone here from the public that needs to participate? If so, please raise your hand.
Eileen, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi,
Anna.
it's Anna.
Hi.
I just got a message from Susan. She is still at the office, so that's why
Okay.
she's not at the meeting, okay?
Thank you. So Susan can be listed as excused then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, I got her.
I see an attendee with the name of Robert. Is that a public participant or is that someone that should be included as a panelist?
Is it Robert Blank?
Yep, just Robert.
It's probably Robert Blank and he's on the committee, so that's fine. Okay. So seeing that there is no public participation, we're going to move on.
I see Kathleen Clark had her hand up.
I just wanted to confirm that I've been here since 6:29.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving on. We have no remarks from the Committee on Public Participation because there isn't any. And fundraising calendar wrap up. I think we are pretty good at wrapping that up. Yes, Kathleen?
We have, when I say a few, I have not been to Karma's this week, but the last I checked, I think there were just like 6, and I have 2 at home that I've held on to in case somebody had an issue and they didn't have it. I have not checked on the final 5 people who did not pick up, but I will do that. I brought the soda over there, and I know that the bags are selling. I dropped cash and a check off with Allison a few weeks ago. And I'm just going to wait a while for the final sales and not just keep going in there every week for either $0 or $15. So
Yeah, she could probably call you, when she's ready to.
Yeah, anyway, I guess my question is, did everything go fine with Give Butter and it's in our account?
I think we have to wait for the treasurer's report for that.
Okay.
Actually, that's on me. The check got sent to
Okay.
me and I just need to pass it on over to Allison.
Okay. And how much
But
was
it did
the
come
check?
from Webster. It was $2,575.
Nice. Good job, ladies. Very nice. Okay. Next on our agenda looks like Karma's Closet, and we talked about that. The calendars are almost gone. The bags are selling, and the soda, I'll bring some more over this week, hopefully. Bring some more soda and some bags. I did drop off more bags, so we'll see what happens. It's a great way to get rid of them. Okay. The events. The Random Acts of Kindness event, that probably, I don't know, it should take place this month, but we can push it off if you want. I don't think we have someone, do we have, Max was going to take care of that. Max is in here, I'll have to check in with him. I just thought it would be nice to go with Valentine's Day. The blood drive.
Yeah, this is Diane.
Hi.
Eileen. The only thing I would need to get started is a location. And I think that is what we're trying to figure out, right? And when's the right time frame? Because then I can start booking it at any time with the Red Cross. They have they have an outlined plan of how you do a blood drive, what you need to do 12 weeks ahead, 3 weeks ahead, the whole thing. But the whole thing starts with the location and picking your date and time.
Okay. I know at one point we talked about using one of the firehouses. I would love to do it in the new gym at the town hall, but who knows when that's going to open up. That's the problem. Bill DeMayo, are you there?
Loud and clear, yes.
Is that a possibility to use the double gyms one day for a blood drive?
Well, we're closed, right? The town hall and community
Oh, I
center.
understand. This wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't take place for a while until, things open up, till more people are vaccinated. Is there a guesstimate of a date when that will open up?
No, not that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think one of the churches would be willing to do it?
Oh, I would imagine the Congregational Church would do it in a flash. Maybe Holy Spirit, they got a nice hall. St. Mary's.
They have a nice gym.
I don't know that they own that. I don't know what that deal is with that anymore. That school sold. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Bill, do you know, DeMayo?
Or maybe the Christian Academy or something like that?
I think they're renting it. I think they're renting it from the church.
Oh, so that's a possibility.
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, possible.
Okay.
I was thinking that might be another option if the town's not open. The churches don't, can
Yeah.
probably control it a bit more.
I would imagine that, the Congregational Church would be,
Parking is a real problem there, the one downtown. There's only
Yeah.
3 parking spaces for handicapped.
yeah, I don't know how
Holy
accessible it
Spirit
is
would be a
either.
much better location,
All right.
parking
That's a good
wise.
point.
Yeah.
Another option is the one, I forgot what it is, I think it's Baptist and it's on the way to New Britain.
Oh, New
Newington
Britain
Road.
Avenue. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yep.
They've got a good parking lot too.
All right. That's
Are you
the-
talking about the one on New Britain Avenue?
No, was it New
Yeah,
Britain
you're-
Avenue that turns into Newington Road? No, wrong side.
You're talking
Newington
about
Avenue.
Emmanuel Baptist?
Oh.
Yeah, you go up Willard and then you take a right turn up the street.
I was talking about the Methodist Church.
Yeah, it's New Britain Avenue and then it becomes Newington.
Oh, well.
The
the
road
Methodist
changes
Church
when
is
it
on
gets to be New Britain.
The Methodist Church.
Now I
is on
can
the
look it
corner.
up on my cell phone.
All right. Well, we could do some checking around.
Yeah, that was my other, those are a couple other options. I'm like, we can't rely on when the town's opening, but I know they're running blood drives, so it might be a way to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I would think that Holy Spirit is accessible because there's no steps or anything. St. Mary's, if they let you in the front door, it's accessible. That's not bad. If you had to go in the gym entrance, you got to be able to get up the stairs to get in there. that church that's on the corner of New Britain Avenue and Church Street down where they sell all the pumpkins. That's nice and accessible, but I don't know what they have for a room in there. Like if
And I
they
know
have-
our Savior's Lutheran Church on Main Street has a big, their basement area is quite large.
I was just gonna say,
Amen.
I can check on our Saviors.
Thanks.
that would be nice.
Yeah,
I could also check on possibly the Sphinx. It's very easy and accessible, a large parking lot.
yeah.
A lot of the clubs are still open.
I guess
Yeah.
if we reach out, what should I be saying? Like a timeline? When would we, whenever they would let us, or?
Yeah, I don't mind reaching out to our Saviors because
Well, I just texted Tim Hutwagner and he said, yes, but when?
Yeah. So it would be several months out. We want warmer weather, obviously, so we don't have to deal with anything like that. So he could tell us a date that would work.
Okay.
for him, and we can work around that. But I would put it 5 months out, something like that. I wouldn't do it.
So like maybe June or July, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think
Okay.
we can go as far
August.
away as July because people will be away on vacation. You know what I mean?
You wanna
Think
go
like
into September.
May then or something?
May, early June, I would say. Yeah.
May, early June,
Yeah.
or the fall. So May, early June doesn't work, then I would do September or something
Yeah.
like that.
Do we want to have more than one location?
No,
No,
no.
Well,
You need staffing and everything, and Red Cross needs staffing, so
right.
make it
Understood.
easy on them.
Understood. But
This is not a big town.
my concern was that if our goal was 150 pints, that's never going to happen in one shot. You know what I mean? Like one place.
Yeah, but we could, that's one question to ask Allison is could we do it over 2 days or something like that where we can
Yeah.
try to reach our goal?
or maybe we have it, twice or something, so we
Right.
could get there,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, that's a Red Cross question.
Yes,
Um,
and we can work that with them once we kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
Diane, Tim, I think leads like church council for our Saviors, and he seems pretty open to it. We just need to figure out the details. So I can either give you his direct information, or you and him can kind of be in contact offline from these if you want to figure something out.
Yeah, I have his email and phone number
Okay.
because he did my dad's funeral last year, so I have all his info.
Perfect. He seems pretty willing, so maybe just reach out
Oh,
to him.
good. Well, it's good exposure for the churches as well, in particular.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
smaller
Definitely.
churches.
okay.
Good.
All right. So we'll work on that this month, and the mayor's ball is next on the list. It's not, Bill, are you there?
Yeah, what I did, Eileen, is I put it on the agenda for the next Parks and Recreation Commission meeting to ask for a waiver of fees, ask for an alcohol permit and permission, and to name the date in advance, to be announced at a later date, thinking that it would be the end of September, probably the last week of September, first week of October.
Yeah. I would prefer to have it earlier just to keep out of the political fray because it is an election year and I don't want it to turn into anything. We've really tried hard to stay out of that and I would really like to keep it that way. So I'm kind of hoping that we can have it in early September rather than October, but got to see how that goes. I mean, we can't, it's kind of out of our hands right now. Okay, so after the Parks and Rec meeting, we'll talk again. Restock the shelves. That's Susan. She's not here. She is, yes. Kathleen?
I just had another a date conflict, not just me, but the 50th high school reunion of Newington High is, I think, October 8th or that weekend. And I don't know how many, people who still live in town would want to go to both of the things. So I'm just going to throw that out.
Okay.
And of course, I'm sure that's is up in the air and everything else. And I think it said Indian Hill and I think it's October 8th-ish, but don't quote me. So just throwing that out at you.
Okay.
That's good to know.
I wish we had a town calendar like Like they have a calendar at the high school that like shows all the events that are happening at the high school, every club, every this, every that, so that it would be easy not to
Yeah,
conflict.
New Britain did that too, and it was really good because you just put the event in on your own, the organization. So
Would be nice.
there's so much conflict of interest.
Okay. And our restock the shelves, that's Susan, she's not here. I think after speaking with some people at Human Services, they do need food. They do need food, but I think they need money more than food so they get the correct kind of food. But if we do that in the spring, we'll have to see how their shelves are going, whether we ask for donations or we ask for canned goods. We could see what happens, but we have time with that. Okay. Dinner in the park in the summer. Who knows? We gotta put that one on hold too.
I think we're moving forward with concerts on Thursday nights.
Okay.
So, that'll go to the end of July.
Okay.
Rain dates are the first 2 weeks of August.
Yeah. But I guess the problem is if everybody's eating in the park, then nobody's masked, and you run into that problem, and we don't want to do that. So we have to wait and see how the COVID thing goes, I guess,
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Okay. It's so hard to plan. It's ridiculous. Historical house tours. Kathleen's been working hard. You want to talk about the walking tour, Kathleen? And
I sure do. Everything is going great. We now actually have 6 stops instead of 5 because the Historical Society is on board. They'll be doing a presentation out in front of Kellogg Eddy House and Museum. I spoke to Dottie Abbott, who is the employee there. So that's pretty exciting. And all of the other, the Friends of the Library are actually going to discuss it at their meeting this week because we don't really have anybody to do the out in front of the library part. The library itself is doing the storyboards, and we need something in front of the library, and the Friends of the Library may end up taking that up. I've also, through Deanna and the Chamber of Commerce, I've contacted several of the restaurants, dropped my posters off there, not so much for the poster posting, but to see if they can get excited about it, maybe recommend that they offer a special or something and have some kind of cross-pollination, so to speak. And I think that I think that's pretty up to date. We had one other idea Jerry and I were kicking around, that on the day of the event, we can encourage townspeople who are going to participate by walking around or driving around and encourage them to wear historical costumes. And it could be any historical time. It could be the 1950s, if that was, your prime era or whatever. So that's just in the, also just in the kicking around stage. I have 2 other specifics. And number 1, do we need a rain date, and can we get a rain date? And the only person I really need to ask is Bill, because I think the Mill Pond Falls site is the only one that's,
Yes.
There's a tie-in.
Yeah, that's a yes. And I would go with, the following day is Sunday. I'd go with Sunday.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's great. And then the other thing is I would like to order from Image Inc. A small poster, like the size of a real estate for sale sign, that just has our 150th logo on it, that would be in front of every site, just so they stick out as something special on that day, since they're all places that are there all the time. And also anybody who would like to help on that day, I have Gail Bedraco, Councilor Gail Bedraco is actually going to be an assistant with me that day, just to make sure people are going in the right direction, there is no direction, but I didn't want them all starting at the same place. I thought of having something, just a very vague, hi, if your name begins between A and E, please start at the firehouse. I mean, it doesn't have to be that strict. But anyway, so that was my one budgetary item that I would like to be able to order 6. Oh no, only 5, because I'll use the big banner, which is in my garage. We can use that at one of the sites, and the rest of them, I'd like to identify where people are.
Jeff has the prototype for that sign, so it can be made smaller. We don't have to worry about finding
Oh,
a better
cool.
copy of the logo, because he has it all right there.
Great. Okay. I mean, that, there shouldn't be a big deal, I don't think, but that would be great. So I'll order some of them. We got plenty of time, but I think that's all I could think of that would be a cost.
Okay, can somebody make a motion that we purchase those signs, please?
So moved.
And is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very
Can
much.
I add one thing to it? Because I looked into things with Image ink, and they were $10. So
Okay,
per sign.
that's perfect. Okay. And
I
And I did
I
want
wonder
to
if the
follow up.
restaurants could, oh, I was just thinking, because of the historic nature, I wonder if the restaurants could sell old food. That might be good.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the best. You know what's still out there is hard cider. That seemed very historic to me. I myself am gonna get a hard cider when this is over. So
All right.
whoever wants to join me,
Yeah.
but that's a great idea, Bill. I was thinking the same thing. And
Yeah.
that's funny. I was thinking meatloaf and mashed potatoes, but whatever.
hey,
Kathy, I did want to let you know, I did finally was able to have somewhat of a meeting with a couple firemen that can help you out at the firehouse.
oh, okay. Because
they
I
kind of
did hear from
just-
Chris Schroeder.
Oh, is he able to do it?
Yeah, I think he is. So anyway,
Okay.
no, he got let's see, the current chief, he suggested Chris Schroeder and gave me contact information, and so he and I have talked. So he thinks he can get volunteers. So sorry we were on parallel tracks, but anyway.
That's okay.
So,
I think he emailed through the veterans, which then came to me, and then I had already spoke to probably who he's gonna want to use too. But they're all on board. I'm hoping that we have our next meeting in the next month or so to be able, and they'll be all on board.
oh, that's great. It sounded, like and each little spot is all going to be completely on their own. They can do as long as in the time frame. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up because I have one more question. We have the time is 12 to 4. My poster has 12 to 3 because I thought we could use the last hour to deal with stragglers and clean up, etc. If there was a tremendous response, but I guess we were not really going to know until the day. I don't know if it needs to be 4 hours long. Any opinions on that from all you folks?
I would think 12 to 3 is good. And if you have some stragglers or need to finish up, that's fine. And I'm really not, I think because it's an open-ended thing, I don't know how you would get people of certain letters of the alphabet to start at certain places, because if they came at 12:15, if they wanted to take a tour from 12:15 to 2:15 or 12 to 2 or 1 to 3, they're not going to fit in a group. You know what I mean? Unless they
No, and that's just a vague thing. But I think I'd like a way to get people to start. They could start at any one of the spots.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll promote it that way. But anyway,
I think you just have to say social distance. That's all. Just
Right.
make sure you're social distancing. That's all we can do. Wear a mask, social distance.
well,
be
that part's easy. It's mostly, I just don't want everyone showing up at 12 noon at the firehouse.
Yeah.
And then I'd rather figure out a way to spread things out. So that was the only thing I could think of, since there's no tickets, no leaders. But anyway, anybody who would be, again, want to volunteer on the day of the thing, I think they'd be the kind of person to say, oh, why don't you go head in that direction? But anyway, we'll work that out.
Yep, maybe we need a little something at each place to tell people where to go, give them a reminder where the other sites are, so they can say, okay, I'll go here next or there next or whatever. I think probably traffic is going to go in terms of what's closest in the next vicinity, you're not going to
Have
go.
a flyer.
Yeah, you need something to pass out. It could be just a little card with, the places and the addresses on them,
No, I plan to have a map, but I also plan to try to get as many people to download it themselves before
Sure.
they come. So we don't have, this whole pile and papers flying all over the place.
That's good too. You could just shoot them to the website, for further directions. We can put it on the website. It's not a big deal.
Good. Yep.
That'll work. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
This is in regard to the historical. What I wanted to do was put a house a day. I've got a list of 185 houses that are
Yep.
over 100 years old.
Yep.
And people don't know that there's that many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the website or
Yep.
Facebook, a house a day, and people can go look at their leisure. And I got permission. We don't need any special permission. I talked to Ben Ancona, town attorney. If somebody comes, they can look at the house, they can take a picture in front of the house if they want to do that. They don't need to ask the owner. They can walk by it, they can drive by it.
Oh, drive by. Yeah.
They
Okay.
can drive by it, they can walk by it, they can take a picture in front of it because it's public record. It's in the state library, every one of these houses. It's on the town the town assessors. It's on Trulia, and it's also on Zillow.
So you can walk in someone else's yard and take a picture and
No, in
No.
front of the house.
In front of the house.
so like in public property, not on their property.
No,
Correct.
on private property. You can take, that's what he said. You're welcome to call him and ask him. That's what he told me. Take a picture in front of the house if you want to. I don't think anybody's gonna, but
And go on private property?
No,
No, in front of the house, like there's a walk or something. I can get a clarification if you need that. Or we won't tell them they can take their picture in front of the house.
I think what we need clarified is what does in front of the house mean? Like if somebody's standing in front of my house in my yard, I don't have a historical house, but if I did and all of a sudden somebody's just standing out there, I might get the creeps. I'd want them on the sidewalk or, in the road or, farther away rather than in front of my house. I don't think somebody can go on.
All right, I'll see if I can get a written clarification
That would
for
be
you
good.
all.
That would be very good. Okay. Not as part of this historical house tour, and the historical walk, NCTV has reached out a little bit to do some historical shows. Does anybody remember? I don't right now. What happened with Patty Foley and the tapes?
Oh, I can relate to the Patty Foley. Patty Foley was given a script of that a Newington resident wrote, which is very funny, and she's supposed to be giving it to me. And we can do a television show, like they do now with the squares are socially distant, and do the play on television.
Yeah, but there was some discussion about Patty had some tapes repurposed so they could be shown on NCTV. Does anybody know if that happened?
Eileen, I don't think this is what you're talking about, but I referred Patty Foley to you because she needs a version of the logo that she can put on NCTV, and trying to go to the website. The website, whatever was on the website was sufficient to take that version of the logo and put it onto the poster. But whatever version Patty needed to put on, just a promo.
She needs a high resolution. She needs it in high resolution. Yeah.
Not my jam, but I sent her to Eileen. So
I can follow up with that. I have all of them in all the different formats.
oh, that would be great. That would definitely be wonderful, and Patty would really appreciate it.
There's just some discussion about them wanting to run some historical shows and kind of use the 150th as a promotional organization, but I'm kind of unclear about how that's all going to go down. I remember when we first started, Patty was looking for some money to redo some tapes. Do you remember that, Mel?
Yeah, I don't know what the tapes were from though. I know she wanted to have them like digitized. So, but I honestly don't know where they came from.
Yeah. Do you remember, Diane?
I thought they were like interviews and that the library had copies or something like that from one of the other anniversaries or something along that line. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I do too. And I just don't know if it ever happened. I know we were going to give her some money. I don't know if we ever gave her some money. I do not recall.
I don't think we ever clarified and gave her any money for anything.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think she moved on to like a different project and then we didn't have her on the committee anymore.
Okay. So, well, we'll have to see what happens with that. Is anybody on that's from NCTV?
I'm a member.
And you haven't heard anything about that?
I was just talking to Patty the other day, but I can ask her what specifically you want to know about the tapes that she was going to get money for.
Yeah. And just have her call me or send me an email or something. That would be fine. Okay. Thank you. And as far as the Mill Pond storyboards, we still haven't been able to put our finger on the pictures that we've been looking for. I'm going to go tomorrow and dig through some of the stuff at the town hall, see if I can find them, so we could post them around Mill sometime during the summer or whatever. The storyboards, Kathleen, that you were talking about, are those going at the library or are they going at Mill?
No, well, I can tell you who to talk to, but they were using those storyboards for quote unquote library history. That was their project on their own. Are we talking about?
Okay. And
that they were doing that. That's what I think of as the internal library project. They're using the storyboard format for their own library related project. Not all of Newington, but library history.
Okay. And is that going to be part of the historical walk or is that something?
Yes.
It is.
No, it is. Although it won't just be up that day. It will be up either before or after or whatever they want to do.
And are they planning on putting that around the pond or over by the library?
The posts are already up.
Correct, over by the pond. But I thought at some point you mentioned that they were going to.
Anyway, nope, it's going to be on the same template that was there before.
Okay.
That's part of the reason that I thought it was important to have some human beings physically at the library site. But that's okay too, because there's plenty of history. And again, now that the Friends of the Library are interested, I think they're going to take that over based on the last email I had. And if not, I can come up with a library related presentation in addition to library history. But no, so the storyboards are claimed by them and it will be done by them.
Okay. So
could I just add, Eileen, I'm
Yes.
I'm not positive about this, but I had a conversation with Lisa Maston. I thought she told me they were not going around the pond. They were going to do it in front of the library.
Oh, that's good, Bill. That's not what I like that a lot better. And that's what I thought in the beginning. And then a future email between me and now I can't remember her name. So no, I think that'd be terrific. So great.
Bill, do you know?
What's going,
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna say,
Bill.
what's going in front of the waterfalls?
Down below the waterfall,
Yeah.
it's down below, right on that's the area of yeah, it's going to be Joe Demers, who is going to present like the history of, the original mill that was there. And
Oh,
I've been
okay,
actually,
okay.
yeah. So anyways, he's going to be dressed in, some kind of period costume and have tools as far as barrel making, since that's part of what was going on there.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yep.
Barrel staves.
They made the staves, not the barrels. Yeah.
Well, the barrel staves will eventually be a barrel.
Yes.
A barrel stave doesn't look like much of anything.
No.
But
We're getting a barrel from the Historical Society.
but another interesting, if he was going to do history of Mill Pond, it's interesting because I've been reading the Baxter book from cover to cover, and you sort of jump from that industry there in 1677. And then the next place I find Mill Pond is when people let pigs roam around there and they pooped in the pond and people died of dysentery. So you kind of have this 100-year jump or 200-year jump from one thing to the other. So yeah, we'll come up with something, but we were focusing on the early construction business there.
Okay, great.
Bill, do you know where those storyboards came from?
No, I'm gonna make an assumption it was someone from the library.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew who built them, like where they got them. Okay,
No, don't know that. No.
all right. You're slipping.
Eileen, can I just say, are you going to talk to Lisa Masson? Because now that I'm confused enough, I'll send an email tomorrow to her, and I want to say her name is Jen, but now I can't. Her last name is Beth Mendelson. Beth Mendelson is my contact. I started with Lisa, ended up with Beth Mendelson. They were also going to give me some notes that I could use to create whatever kind of person presentation, since they couldn't use library staff outside the building to do this. But I'll get it clear, because at first I thought she talked about being around the building, and then I thought, no, she's using what she's already got. So let me get that cleared up and I can give you an email back.
So they don't want to have one of their own people do the library presentation?
I was told they were not allowed to. I wasn't quite whether it was overtime or that was what I was told, that we could not have library personnel perform that duty.
Okay. If you want to do that, so that keeps you in the loop, if you would just CC me on that email and ask her who made the storyboards, where they got them. So if we want to get some more to put some pictures up around.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be great.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, moving on. Indian Hill. Max has been in touch with the people at Indian Hill. He has a golf outing scheduled for August 24th, which is a Tuesday. And he's going to meet with the golf pro again. They want to do something a little more creative, maybe not a traditional tournament, but they're going to sit down and hash out the details. Max had heard that there were some ladies who were interested in helping. And Diane, are you aware of that?
Yeah, one of them is going to be away the date of that tournament, but I think the other one can still help, and I'm willing to help as well.
Yes, I would help too. Okay, so if they would reach out to Max, his email is on this, that would be great. And then maybe we can all figure out what's gonna happen there. So
Is this going to be a fundraiser, or they haven't figured out yet what they
I don't think they figured it out. At the very least, it has to break even. That's all that my concern is personally. And if we make money, Max had mentioned something that, if we were going to raise money, maybe we should have a purpose for that money and where it was going to go and what we were going to do with it. We haven't really discussed what we're going to do with the proceeds from anything. Eventually we'll have to have a plan. Hopefully we'll have some proceeds to.
Hopefully we can pay for the mayor's ball with it, right? So
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're gonna make some money on that too. But they, in the past, other committees have left their mark somewhere, created something. There's like a monument somewhere. I don't know, but we need to just kind of think about that, put some ideas together. It's a little hard to put ideas together because we have no idea what kind of money or if we're gonna have any money. So I think that's probably something that'll happen later on, probably after the mayor's ball. That would be good. Okay, moving on. Can somebody move there we go. There we go. Treasurer's report.
Not much activity since last month. There's $11,514.26, and that's before the 2,500 that Val mentioned.
That's all. And we've paid all our bills.
Yeah, we've paid all the only bill I think was some mailings for the calendars and the image ink for the calendars. There also, this month was a $12 for, I don't know what website domain we're using. I'm assuming it's the website domain. I haven't seen it before though, so.
I know, I haven't either. I was kind of thinking they forgot about us, but whatever.
Well,
Okay,
they caught up this month, so other than that though, nothing really.
I don't know. I was figuring it probably was taken out of my credit or something, and I'm like not paying attention. I don't know. It's okay. All
Well,
right,
you fixed it.
that's nice. All right, moving on. New business. The parade, I spoke with them and there still is no decision as far as I know. They were leaning toward having it, but they really weren't sure. I don't know. Rates are coming down, so who knows? I don't know. It's too early to tell. What I don't know. I don't know what we'd want to do as far as we'd sponsor a band. I don't know if people want to walk in the parade as part of the 150th committee. I don't know if, I don't know if anybody has any interest in walking. What are your thoughts? Okay.
I was thinking about
ahead.
that there are different organizations and that they're not doing anything. The Portuguese club, that's, and Sagerbund, and then there's an Italian club. So if they, just the thought, been trying to call Sagerbund, but I haven't gotten anything in a number of times, so.
And they would march as part of the 150th division, just in support of the 150th. Is that's your idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know that Sagerbund is 160 years old, so 161.
Sounds good.
What about some type
Well, we'll
of
see.
float?
Um,
The logo, maybe some of the storyboards around,
yeah, beats walking, right?
Yeah. Well, you can do,
I'll stand on a float.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. Does anybody have access to a truck like that? Or
What kind of truck? I might be able to get a truck.
yeah, we'd need a trailer, I guess, like to do
Trailer.
some kind of float with it. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
I'll talk to who I know, so.
Okay. All right. There was some discussion about maybe doing a posting on the website about this month in history and maybe talking about something that happened, say in February. Is there something cool that happened in Newington throughout the history of Newington, and making a post and putting it up there and once a month and doing something. I mean, we could do it more than once a month, but I thought once a month was a good way to start. Does that pique anyone's interest to do something like that? Doesn't have to be fancy.
Eileen, I'm not.
I think I can do that.
Oh, good. I just wanted to say again, reading the book, right? I spent 2 hours reading the book today. There weren't a zillion specific dates, but I wasn't reading it with my eye to that. But I'm happy. I don't want to do that. I just threw that out as far as I think it's a great idea. I love that idea. And I
Okay.
think it'd be great to focus on the history of Newington. Also, here's one more thing just to remember, even though we're celebrating the 150th, the really interesting thing that was in the book was that when Newington was incorporated in 1871, that was 150 years from the founding of Newington. And they noted that when they broke away and incorporated it as their own town. It's mentioned repeatedly in the book that it was 150 years from when Newington was settled,
Cool.
which I think was, pretty close to when the church is celebrating their 300th, which is next year in 2022. But they referred to it as 150 years. So here we are at the second 150 years.
Cool. All right. Was that Michael Fox who said you were interested in doing that?
Yeah, give me a little, a little guidance here, but I think, when did you want to start this? Is the website up and?
Yes. We have yes. And if you want to just like type up a little paragraph, I'll post it for you.
All right, sounds good. So I'll keep my nose to the grindstone reading, and I will send you a paragraph or so, maybe even some images.
Yep, whatever. And it doesn't have to be something that's, happened 150 years ago. It could be something that happened 20 years ago or
Right.
50 years ago or whatever. Just something cool. That would be nice. Okay.
I also think if
I
like
have
on the
one more
history,
thing.
one thing, go ahead.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
not just talking about just with the history, but maybe going into depth about some of our organizations within town, and that would get more people involved. So Little League was, first introduced into Newington, became the Newington Little League at blah, blah, blah date, so many years ago. And then you tag Newington Little League and all the parents see that. And the same thing with soccer or, the Polish club or the Sphinx, maybe the churches. And as you tag people, we're going to get more involvement from a lot of their volunteers as well. And it might really bring a lot of traffic to our site as well as our events.
That's very, very good idea. Okay.
I have one hand up. Marie Dowling passed away, and she was on the 125th.
Oh.
Marie. Oh my.
Yeah. She moved to Texas and just this week passed away.
Wow. I remember Michael and Amy. Huh. That's sad. Okay. The only other thing that was part of new business that I didn't put on there is I did make a little memorial at the falls. I don't know how many of you got to see it or over on Facebook. People really liked it. They appreciated it. They thought it was good that we took the time to reflect that there are going to be members of our community who are not going to be able to celebrate with us this year. And it was very pretty and meaningful and well received. So it was a good way to start the year.
I think you did a great job. There was a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, I'd say kudos to Eileen. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
My wife put some 3 pictures up and over 1,000 people hit it in almost 3 hours. It was crazy.
Yeah, it came out good. I was glad. Froze my butt off, but it was nice. Okay.
Looked very nice.
Thank you. So anybody have any more remarks? Anything else we need to add? Okay, so in closing, I would say that anybody who wants to help with the golf tournament or the random acts of kindness, please reach out to Max. I will go to Karma's and see what else we can drop off there. Kathleen, you're going to check with the library and get back to me about how to make those signs.
Yep.
And Diane, you're going to check with the churches about the blood drive. And other than that, I think we're in good business. We're good?
Eileen, this is Nancy. I couldn't I couldn't hit my unmute before. I found an old message from Patty in notes that I had about tapes. She put that this is what she had said. The tapes were dropped off at Win TV on June 17th. That goes back to 2019.
Yeah.
We have about a 6-7 week waiting period while they are being transcoded to digital. Once they are done, I will pick them up and NCTV will be doing some editing to have each interview be a separate file. NCTV will place the videos on an external server. Library is willing to place links to the videos in the collection. I'm waiting a return on some information from the library for a possible unveiling of these interviews. And then I think it was soon after she left the committee.
Yeah, and probably soon after that COVID came around, so
Exactly, yeah.
that's a problem. Okay, I'll try to see if I can reach out to her and see what happened with those. I know there was a fee attached to them. I don't think we ever paid her any money. I don't know
No,
if she charged any
no.
money. I don't know what happened with all of that.
Okay.
So thank you for that.
Mhm.
Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna check with about the trailer, and you're
Yep.
gonna talk to Patty, so you don't want me to put anything on Facebook about the old houses until I get something in writing from Ben and Kona?
Yes, I think that would be good because we need to be
Okay,
clear. We don't want to send people into someone's front yard and have them get arrested.
okay.
Okay, all right.
I have a question. Do we
Yes.
put information out on the Facebook site or on the website or both?
Well, I haven't been using the website because that's my daughter's thing, and unfortunately she's been sick, so that hasn't been touched.
Okay,
The Facebook page is probably better. I don't think people really look at the website as much as the Facebook page.
okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
For the
All right.
Facebook page, do we want to set up an event for the walking tour so
Yeah.
that you can kind of gauge it as an event and then it reminds
It-
everybody through Facebook, the date and everything?
I'll put that on.
It's already been shared with the 150th page, but it has not come directly from the 150th.
Okay.
But it would be set up as an event where they can sign up and you can kind of gauge
Oh,
the
that-
amount of
that- that's cool.
participation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I certainly don't know how to do that, but so my poster's not 100% up to date because now I'll redo it with the rain date. And so we have now the sixth stop, and now we have a rain date. But I can get almost within the next few days, I can get a pretty almost done poster and send it to you to get it onto the Facebook page as an event if somebody else knows how to do that, because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
What
If
was
you
the
can do
date of
that.
that? What was the date of that thing, Kathleen?
April 20, I hate to say 24th.
Okay.
I've only looked at it about 12 times in the
Yeah,
last
that's the
3
date,
hours.
Kathy.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the date.
Good, okay.
Okay, and maybe you can add the rain date on there too. That would be good.
No, that's what I just said,
Okay.
that
All
I
right.
would update the poster with the rain date.
Okay. Sounds good. Do we have anything else to discuss? Can somebody make a motion to adjourn, please?
So
I
moved.
moved to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, everybody. Have a good month. We'll talk again.
Yay.
Have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Good night.
Aye.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You too.